fight her.
Oh, big right hand!
Qui la remet. Oh, la droite! Oh, c'est eu.
Ah, mais ça, c'était sûr.
Reluctant to come out of her corner. Ada left of 1, 2, 3, 4.
Despite being packed with explosive talent, women's fighting has long flown under the radar.
Oh, and she got dropped! Wow, that read. Damage from Bunton. You see that face?
So today, we're shining the spotlight where it's due on some of the most savage knockout moments in women's fighting. This is Fighting is Art. Let's go. Let's start with the fastest KO in women's boxing history, courtesy Seniesa Estrada, a young, hungry, and lightning-fast boxer who stepped in against 42-year-old Miranda Adkins, a late-bloomer mom with just 5 fights and barely 3 years in the sport. Adkins took the bout on short notice to test herself, which was obviously a terrible idea, because as soon as the bell rang, Estrada blitzed like a storm, unloading a 6-punch combo that first turned Adkins into a statue.
Adkins reluctant to come out of her corner. Ada left of 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then a shadow.
One of the quickest knockouts in women's boxing history.
Veteran Amber Leibrock may only have 1 win in the PFL, but oh boy, it was pure violence wrapped in history. Going into her 2023 fight against Martina Jindrova, she was the underdog, but it took her only 2 minutes to upset the established order.
Stand-up fight.
Jindrova starts off the contact. Nice.
With sniper-like precision, she fired a head kick that detonated on Jindrova's jaw.
Check hook on the retreat from Martina Jindrova.
And Jindrova dropped like a puppet with its strings cut.
I'm distracted by the flex from both Randy and Kenny.
Amanda Serrano is more than just a champion. She's a knockout machine and the most decorated female boxer across weight classes in history. With 30 finishes in 44 pro bouts, Serrano doesn't just win fights, she absolutely annihilates her foes. And in 2014, she added another brutal highlight to her reel when she faced Maria Maderna for the WBO lightweight title. Fighting on hostile turf in Buenos Aires, Serrano put on a clinic in enemy territory.
Va cargando la mulata puertorriqueña. Maderna se queda en la pelea del cara a cara. Sorpresa en la FAB. De entrada nomás, va con todo.
She overwhelmed Maderna with a mix of speed, precision, and sheer power.
Trabaja abajo.
For 5 straight rounds, she battered the hometown favorite, making the crowd watch their hero get picked apart piece by piece.
Deja para hacer esa pelea, para combatir con Cindy.
Atención que la conmovió. Se quedan las cuerdas en el juego de la contra, que tanto le gusta y no mucho le produce la...
In round 6, Serrano dropped Maderna with a clean right hook that silenced the arena.
No. ¡Bomba de Serrano y la colgó a Maderna!
The Argentine managed to get to her feet, but the fight was already over in her mind. She looked at the ref, shook her head, and quit on her feet. South Korea's Cho Yun-bi, aka Libby, might have a rocky record with 7 losses in 8 fights, but that lone win is an absolute street legend. Against Japan's Momoko Yamazaki, the South Korean opened the show with a rocket right that had Momoko moonwalking like Michael Jackson. What followed was a pure back alley brawl. They clinched, broke, and exploded like Wanderlei Silva and Vitor Belfort at full tilt. And there came the money shot that had Momoko's leg folding like a lawn chair. In 2011, Gelena Merjivskaya walked into the ring as a late replacement with 5 losses in her last 7 and no real momentum. On the other hand, Olivia Garela was the champ, and this was supposed to be a routine win until the tables turned. For 8 rounds, the 2 boxers traded leather like 2 warriors with something to prove. But just 23 seconds into the 9th round, the champ got frustrated and allowed Mr. Genovich to land a left hook from hell.
Championship bout. So these next 2... Oh! A huge
Jarula hit the canvas face first, and she was out for minutes. Filipino-American firecracker Jackie Bunton lit up the One Championship stage from the jump, showcasing slick hands and sharp footwork in her debut against Wonder Girl Jarunsak.
The speed, the precision, the volume as well. Oh, smack bang! There's the left hook I spoke about. Again, over the...
But her true masterpiece came against Diandra Martin.
She'll take 2 steps up to the left. It's a beautiful footwork combination.
Jackie didn't just outclass her, she dismantled her.
Blue has her control. Take control of the center. She doesn't want to counter strike here. Another beautiful left hook landed from
With snapping combos, thudding kicks, and picture-perfect timing.
Getting things going though. She needs to assert some control. She's kind of like got her in a headlights moment right now, Rich.
That's what, and I believe that she has that because Jackie is not giving her the look that she's expecting. This is the...
And when Martin was deep in trouble, a lightning-fast left hook from Bunton was enough to send Martin spinning into the void.
That read, damage from Bunton. You see what face it did.
Diana Absargova is a rising storm worth watching as this Russian beauty made it to Bellator in just her 3rd pro fight, facing Tara Graf, who came in like a bulldozer on full throttle.
The 1 and 2, Tara Graf in the blue gloves, an aggressive start, Graf coming right.
Diana didn't flinch as she read the rush like a kid's book and answered with sniper precision.
Absargova, a master of sports in freestyle wrestling, but she's on the receiving end of a striking.
The result was a sharp punch that stopped Graf in her tracks, and a blur of fists sent her crashing to the canvas before she even realized what hit her.
Wow, the master of sports in freestyle wrestling with a master display in striking.
It wasn't just a win, but a striking clinic and a perfect way to announce yourself to the world of fighting. So the One Championship atomweight title, fight between Stamp Fairtex and Ham. So was pure fire from start to finish. Round 1 served up a buffet of cautious exchanges, with both women measuring range and timing like 2 snipers in a standoff.
Out there, Mitch, Stamp's just kind of throwing these kicks out as a feeler. That's probably the first one.
It opens up some beautiful kicking options for the flag. Towards Holm's power side, but she's circling away on a larger radius, so she's not.
But round 2 had a completely different outlook as Stamp came out laser-focused, repeatedly attacking Ham's left side, her power side, to chip away at her offense.
2 kicks to the left arm on Holm. And so it is clear that Stamp has done her homework on Holm.
Ham, though, wasn't backing down as she fired back with nasty combinations, throwing heat with every shot.
Down Stamp in the 2nd round. You can never count out the value.
The end came early in round 3 as Stamp dug a straight right hand into Ham's body like a knife through armor, and that was the trigger.
He's on the inside. Another body shot. What a win for Stamp. She makes history.
The Thai star then let loose a savage barrage, overwhelming Ham with ruthless precision. It wasn't just a title win, but a statement from Stamp Fairtex's arrival as the new queen of the atomweight jungle. Former IBF female flyweight champ Ava Knight only has 5 knockouts in her 26-fight career, but none hit harder than her 2011 destruction of Riri Nasukawa. With the IBF flyweight title on the line, both women traded combos early, but Knight's shots were crisper, cleaner, and far more venomous.
Ganaba a José Ochoa en la primera pelea a nivel. Pues suelta a la derecha que se queda completita la guardia de la mexicana. Las dos marcan sobre la zona.
Round 2 saw Knight crank up the pressure, pinning Mushino against the ropes like a predator stalking prey.
Ava Knight, la peleadora de California con buena técnica. Ahí en el primer capítulo de la contienda en una pelea pactada 10 rounds. Felipe Bravo aquí en.
And 30 seconds in, a slick body head combo dropped Mushino to her knees. Mushino beat the count, but the nightmare was far from over. As soon as the ref waved them back in, Knight dug a couple more shots into the gut, then launched a left hook upstairs that sent Mushino into the abyss. At 7-0, Slovakian knockout artist Lucia Sabova is knocking on the door of the big leagues. And with highlights like this, you'll know why. In 2021, she faced Greece's own wild brawler, Kristina Netsa, a woman built like Jessica Andrade and swinging like a wrecking ball.
Whoa, huge exchanges. Length. And look at that, she's looking to catch the kick and go with that over.
The fight turned into a phone booth war, with both women biting down and throwing with bad intentions. But just when it felt like a war of attrition,
Netza connect kick for kick.
Sabova pulled out a trick from the sniper's playbook. She leaned back, measured the distance, and whipped a head kick that wrapped around Netza's face like a sleep mask from hell.
Bad intentions. Kick, knockout! Lucia Sabova!
Sabova didn't just knock her opponent out. She sent a strong message to everybody in her division across promotions that she was coming to hunt them down. Now, we all know how deadly Tenshin Nasukawa is. He is a real-life anime protagonist in the ring. But little did we know, his younger sister Riri Nasukawa might just be the sequel with sharper edges. In her bout against Mari Kamikaria, Riri looked like she stepped straight out of a fighting arcade game.
Compose yourself in the corner and then come out.
Heel kick there, beautiful.
She danced around the ring with slick combos, lightning quick footwork, and a calm confidence far beyond her years.
Kamikaria was clearly sparked from that first one, and she caught a second one, which didn't put absolute pressure of young Riri Nasukawa here tonight.
Mari came to fight, but Riri was simply levels above her opponent, and she finished the job with a head kick so sharp, it could have been storyboarded by a manga artist.
In the second, oh, she's got a high kick! She is on! Riri Nasukawa with a kill!
Turns out, highlight reel knockouts just run in Nasukawa blood, because these warriors don't just fight, they kill without mercy. Anissa Mexen is one of the hardest-hitting kickboxers in the game, and in 2014, she reminded the world exactly why when she faced Israel's Adi Rodham. From the opening bell, it was an all-out firefight, with both women trading bombs like they had a personal grudge.
Yeah, likes the French girl. Yeah, she does. Nice right kick and a left kick straight away afterwards.
Rodham even pulled out some flashy rolling maneuvers, trying to blend style with survival, but that didn't faze Mexen.
Oh, that was a special move that the Mosquito...
In the very next exchange, she timed a brutal left hook with sniper precision.
Good left hook, a nice left hook to the side of the jaw! The Mosquito is swatted!
The punch cracked Rodham so clean, she went face first into the canvas like a falling statue. On the night of November 14th, 2021, in Sheffield, UK, the ring lit up with a title clash between WBC and IBO super featherweight champion Terry Harper and the American powerhouse Alicia Baumgardner. In the fourth round, Harper got caught with a missile of a right hand.
In the first place. Sorry, shots again from Baumgardner. Baumgardner with a right hand over the top, and Harper is from Shannon Courtney, loading on the right down the waist of Harper at the end of this contest. But she walks onto her right hand, and she stands virtually stock still in the...
She stayed on her feet, but her body shut down, frozen in the center of the ring. The referee immediately stepped in to stop what looked like a knockout that could have been a lot worse than it actually looked. Savannah Marshall didn't waste a single second in her first WBO middleweight title defense, facing veteran Swedish boxer Maria Lindberg, who stepped in as a last-minute replacement. Marshall looked like a lion unleashed. From the opening bell, she dictated the pace with sniper-like accuracy, and when Lindberg missed, Savannah made her pay.
For the first 2 or 3 rounds, and as she feels comfortable, she just start working in combinations like you see there. One thing, she doesn't get backed up too easily.
In the third round, Marshall landed a clubbing right hand that sent Lindberg crashing onto the ropes.
Before at the start.
Oh, there we go. I was, just as you were talking there, Paul, I was thinking, you know.
She then unleashed a nasty left hook that sent Lindberg down on the mat again.
The head back of Lindberg, good shot.
It's another jolting shot.
Only this time, she wasn't getting up. It was clinical and viciously cold. Now, no women's KO list is complete without Dakota Diva's sinister dismantling of Cornelia Holm, who charged forward like she was late for wrestling practice.
such long limbs for this weight class as well, and she utilized them so well with that jab, but this is a good takedown for Holm.
Beautiful work.
But Dakota wasn't in the mood to grapple. She bounced up like someone stepped on her tail and made her intentions clear.
Making Holm work for this one. There's that ATT room.
Holm tried to bully her against the fence, but Dakota locked her in a Muay Thai clinch and started pumping knees to the body.
People who can really push her, and now
there's the knees.
Knees coming up the center, right back on the attack.
In round 2, Dakota switched from brawler to sniper, snapping Holm's head back with a laser-guided right hand.
Try and catch her on the way in, or potentially focus on takedown defense.
From that moment, it was a technical beatdown. Holm got lit up with pinpoint punches and sharp kicks that left no room to breathe.
Good sprawl, and then immediately back on the attack with that left high kick.
Beautiful left hand there by Dicheva.
Desperate to get this fight to the floor. Beautiful, very nice. Now we're going to see Holm.
Then came the finish in round 3, when Dakota drilled a liver shot so clean, it shut Holm down instantly as her legs gave out, and the fight was over.
Dakota Diva with the 3rd round finish!
Dakota's kryptonite, Amy Perine, is one of kickboxing's fastest rising stars, and she stepped up to the plate for the Lion Fight Super Flyweight title against Sandra Godvic. On paper, it looked like a war, but in the ring, it was a walk in the park.
Godvic the white. Early start with a low kick for Godvic. Perine with a response. Up with those knees.
Godvic came out stalking like a tigress on the prowl, but once Perine dug in those body shots, that tigress turned house cat real quick.
She's so strong. She said her strength was her power. There's body of it. She's hurt her. She's hurt her bad. Big leg.
A couple of rib crackers later, and Godvic was folding like a lawn chair. The whole thing was done in just 47 seconds. Andrea Lee is a sensational fighter whose magazine cover smile hides the soul of a headhunter. And we see that time and time again. At Invicta FC 21, Lee put her fierce fighting skills on display when she faced Jenny Liu, and from the opening bell, it was mayhem in Fast Forward. Lee stormed in like a one-woman wrecking crew.
TJ DeSantis, Joe McKenzie, Scottish Rite Temple, Kansas City, Missouri, Invicta FC 21. See Lee firing off some punches, Liu ducking her head, trying to throw back some kicks.
Liu fired back, but her punches felt like pebbles bouncing off a tank. Meanwhile, Lee's fists were falling like million-dollar haymakers with bad intentions.
Now it's the striker, Andrea Lee, eats a right hand from Liu. Liu covering up, though.
Yeah, Liu's posture in this is not encouraging. Already she's ducking.
Then came the masterpiece in the form of a vicious combo that spun Liu like a confused ballerina caught in a storm.
Coming out very aggressive, Jenny Liu backing up. Another right hand, big swing and a miss by Liu.
By then, Liu was hurting in languages she didn't even speak.
Liu backing up. Desperate takedown attempt, eats a hard
Very nice knee.
And just when it looked like it couldn't get worse, Lee painted the final stroke, a rapid-fire flurry that was equal parts violence and poetry.
And Lee she's looking for that head kick knockout right now.
Liu down on the mat. Andrea Lee gets it done.
Right when I say head kick, she hits the body.
UFC vet Sabina Mazo doesn't throw head kicks. She launches them like a baseball bat wrapped in cinder blocks. And while it's been a while since we've seen her highlight reel violence, she left a trail of chaos behind, like her nasty KO of Jamie Thornton. The fight started off like a snooze fest, the kind of slow burn that makes fans check their phones. But out of nowhere, Mazo launched her shin into Thornton's face like a guided missile, turning silence into stunned gasps. And if that wasn't enough, in her next fight against Lindsey Williams, she gave us a repeat of her nasty heat hunting.
Body kick by Williams.
Sabina Mazo, the South American kickboxing champ, gold medal at Abu Dhabi.
Mazo danced on the outside, waited for the moment, and then landed a thunderous head kick that sent Williams to the shadow realm. Two different opponents, same deadly signature. When Mazo aims high, it is almost always lights out. Chris Cyborg has been dishing out destruction for nearly 20 years, and at Bellator 271, She turned the cage into a demolition zone.
Immediately, Cyborg stalking Kavanaugh, rattling her with the right hand, and Kavanaugh firing back, but
From the first second, she stormed in like a wrecking ball dipped in dynamite, with each punch thrown with the fury of a freight train on fire.
Don't allow Chris to throw that blitz and get you against the cage.
Then came the right hand like a missile disguised as a fist, detonating on Kavanaugh's chin like a thunderclap.
Mamma mia! Chris Cyborg starches Sinead Kavanaugh!
Her legs gave out instantly, and she crumbled like a house of cards blown away with a gust of wind. Holly Holm is one of the most decorated female fighters in combat sports history. She is a world champion in boxing, kickboxing, and MMA. But even legends have their nightmares, and in 2012, Anne-Sophie Mathis handed Holm one of the scariest defeats ever seen in women's boxing. Their clash was a high-octane slugfest from the start, with Holm dancing and dodging while Mathis hunted with pure power.
Elle est très adroite. Alors elle se jette aussi, donc tu peux toi aussi la contrer.
Justement, on a travaillé sur le contre en uppercut parce qu'elle baisse souvent la tête.
Bien sûr. On va répéter longtemps.
L'attente a été longue entre le moment où vous êtes arrivé sur le ring et elle qui est arrivée ou pas? Vous n'avez pas trop fait attendre?
Non, c'est bien.
Non, pas spécialement. Non.
But no matter how slick Holm tried to be, Mathis kept walking her down like a horror movie villain.
Là, puis il y a des bonnes combinaisons des deux.
By round 7, Holm looked like a ghost of herself, swollen, staggering, and barely able to stand.
Encore un saut. Tu crois pas me dire que j'ai pas fait beaucoup d'uppercut?
Ah si.
Parce qu'on travaille beaucoup l'uppercut quand même.
And then came the horror show. Mathis trapped Holm against the ropes and unleashed a savage barrage.
Oh, les ressources.
Quel sixième round!
Oh!
Holm was barely conscious and hung there like a scarecrow in the wind, but the referee didn't stop it.
Oh là là, oh le crochet gauche, oh il est à droite encore, oh là
l'uppercut.
Et le bras, regardez le bras gauche bloqué sous la corde. Et l'arbitre qui lui enlève la corde.
Anne followed it up with an uppercut and a right hook, and Holm's body flew through the ropes and crumpled outside the ring like a broken mannequin.
Oh là là. Mais moi, l'arbitre devrait arrêter plus tôt.
Oui, mais
After kicking off her pro career with 3 straight losses, Fernando Larios looked like another name destined to fade into the shadows. But fast forward a few fights, and she's flipped the script with 4 wins in a row. None more explosive than her showdown with fellow slugger Marisol Ruelas. Right from the start, it was chaos. Both women threw leather like their rent was due, but Larios had the edge in precision. Time and again, she dialed in her right hand like a sniper zeroing in on target.
Ruelas though staying tight. Nice leg kick. Opposite stances. That southpaw stance. Good side kick right to the gut.
We see these women, these men just develop, evolve.
Then came the exclamation mark, thanks to a piston-like straight right that shut the lights off and folded Ruelas like a lawn chair.
And that is all she wrote in round number 1.
India's Jojo Rajgumari might not have a record that turns heads, but when it comes to grit, she's all bite and no bark. Against Mary Jane Buna, things got rough early as Jane clipped her with a clean shot that had Jojo wobbling. But Jojo rose like a phoenix with vengeance in her eyes and turned the tables, dragging Jane into the fire instead, landing a lunging left hook that shut the showdown.
Nice overhand. Beautiful overhand right there. Wow.
Proof that records don't always tell the story. Emily Ducote is basically walking around with C4 in her fists because when she throws, someone's going to sleep. And in 2021, that someone was Danielle Taylor. The fight started like a game of punchy chess. Both women tested the waters, probing jabs, feints, and movement.
And, I mean, she looks very focused, and she's certainly going to draw on experience. But look.
But then, Ducote hit the switch. In one sudden blitz, she ripped a right hand through the guard and immediately followed it up with a head kick so clean it could have been on a Mortal Kombat highlight reel.
Right hand. Taylor in trouble. Head kick for the finish. It is done. Emily.
Taylor froze on impact, stiff as a board. and her body locked up mid-motion like someone hit pause on a controller. It wasn't just a win for Ducote. It was a highlight that echoed through women's MMA, and a brutal reminder that if you sleep on her combos, she'll turn off your lights. The kickboxing clash between Victoria Lumax and Sarel de Jong was nothing short of a one-sided demolition. From the opening seconds, de Jong, being taller, stronger, and built like a war machine, took control and never let up. De Jong unleashed a relentless storm of knees, punches, and kicks, battering Victoria from every angle.
Tough Lomax. Low kick back from Sarel.
Not long after, a vicious knee to the face sent Victoria crashing down, but to her credit, she got back up.
Oh, that was beautiful! Absolute scorcher of a knee!
Unfortunately for her, it was only to absorb more punishment as de Jong went through her entire arsenal like she was checking off a list.
Going to get another count from the referee here. I thought she was going to get another count.
The referee had to step in for a count, but even after surviving that, Victoria was a walking target.
Victoria Lomax. The referee, Yo Ubida, gives her a count.
By the third onslaught, there was no miracle comeback, just sheer destruction, as Victoria was bruised, battered, and completely.
That's going to finish. End of the fight. 3 knockdown rule is in effect.
Chanel the Nightmare Dyer is one of the hottest prospects in the British prize fighting scene, and she lived up to her nickname in terrifying fashion when she made her professional MMA debut against Weronika Ezer. The 22-year-old British kickboxing phenom blitzed her opponent from the opening bell, treating Ezer like a heavy bag in a haunted gym.
Feats are definitely numerous and very impressive. She is a two wrestling and now has fallen in love with it, illustrating to me just how well-rounded she is.
Punches rained, kicks whipped through the air, and Ezer looked completely lost, like she wandered into a storm without an umbrella.
You're said and done, and Dyer's just throwing everything in her toolbox at her opponent. A little bit more. I also really like the way that she's...
Oh, big shot over the top. Sorry, Sebastian.
Oh, no, that's a great point. That's a...
Dyer's speed and precision were surgical, while her power was pure chaos.
It's that, as you say, cutting that diagonal, throwing the hands and bringing a flailing shot with the foot.
Oh, jumping front kick there as well.
With just 4 seconds left in the first round, Dyer spun and launched a wicked back elbow that cracked Ezer clean, ending the fight in jaw-dropping style.
Oh! Shot! Unbelievable! And wow! She does it! What a performance!
It's always the ones you don't see coming, and Carolina Arm learned that the hard way when she stepped in with Ireland's Silent Storm, Kia O'Sullivan. The opening round was a chess match in gloves as Kia marched forward with sniper-like combos.
And she's trying to step the lead foot to the outside so that she can land the left hand. Just textbook southpaw work field.
While Arm fired back with her own counters whenever a window cracked open.
Yeah, 100% her work here, especially as a counter-striking southpaw.
It's coming in over the shoulder almost as Carolina throws, isn't it?
And Carolina chooses not to go down.
It was tit for tat, a tactical dance with both women reading and reacting. But then Kia flipped the script. With just seconds left in the round, the Irish phenom wound up and launched a head kick that came out of nowhere, like a flash of lightning from a clear sky.
Well, I say
she's not throwing the whole body into it. And there!
Oh! She's out!
Headshot there!
Wow!
It landed flush with surgical precision, and Carolina's lights were out before she hit the canvas. The kick didn't just end the fight, it put Kia O'Sullivan on every highlight reel worth watching. Zelina Munoz walked into her WBC Superflyweight title defense against Vanessa Taborda with 60 fights of war-hardened experience, and she fought like it. Known as one of the all-time greats in women's boxing, the Mexican legend started the bout with a statement, flooring Taborda in the first round with a crisp left hook that landed like a hammer on glass.
Más fuerte, un poquito más.
But to everyone's shock, Taborda dug deep and stormed back, despite being on a winless streak.
Definitivo, necesita tener tranquilidad, Zelina. Vuelve a atacar,
In the third round, Taborda flipped the script, dropping Munoz with a left hook of her own, reminding everyone that even legends bleed. still, greatness is about rising after the fall. And that's exactly what Munoz did. In round 5, she dialed in her timing and broke Taborda down before detonating an overhand right that sent the Argentine to the canvas once again. Moments later, the ref waved it off. Before Ann Wolfe crossed paths with Vonda Ward in 2004, Ward looked untouchable. She was an 18-0 wrecking machine with 15 knockouts, 2 heavyweight belts, and a terrifying reputation. But that night, Wolfe reminded the world that reputation means nothing when you're standing in front of real power. Wolfe came in as the underdog with a chip on her shoulder and fists like dynamite. Just seconds into the fight, she clipped Ward with a left hook that shook her confidence.
Oh, nice left hook already by Ann Wolfe.
Ward tried to play it smart, using her towering frame and jab, but Wolfe was having none of it.
Coliseum.
You got to swing one of those overhand rights way over, like trying to do 18-0, 15 knockouts, but how many people were scared of her and did not?
At the 1-minute mark, Wolfe saw her opening and detonated one of the most savage right hands in boxing history. Ward lunged in, right into the punch, and collapsed like a building with no foundation.
Really fight her.
Oh, big right hand! One punch! That is it! Forget about the count! It is over!
Ward hit the canvas hard and lay motionless, prompting immediate medical attention and a hospital visit for a neck concussion. Sofia Gurekanova strutted into the cage like she was headlining a fashion show, not a fistfight. But somewhere between tossing petals and dodging the glove touch like it was radioactive, she forgot that her opponent was here to scrap. From the get-go, Sofia's body language screamed main character energy, but Siana wasn't buying the hype. When that cage locked, all theatrics went out the window and fists started flying. And just like that, Sofia's overconfidence earned her a brutal boarding pass to Nap City, population.
Проваливает Сиана, да, перекрывается сейчас Гороханова, она падает и добивание, да, все!
Cecilia Breakus had the curse of greatness in a quiet era, ruling a division without headline-stealing rivals to challenge her spotlight. But make no mistake, she was a masterclass in motion, one of the most complete technicians women's boxing has ever seen. And her 2010 showdown with then undefeated Michaela Lauren was a surgical display of precision and power. Breakus started with sniper-like precision, with every punch landing like it was GPS guided. Soon, her combinations flowed like a raging river, washing over Lauren with no mercy in sight. Round after round, the Norwegian queen beat the brakes off her opponent, turning the ring into her personal canvas and Lauren into a battered brushstroke of defeat. And in round 7, she dropped the curtain, landing a savage uppercut hook combo that sent Lauren's dreams crashing to the canvas. So, those were some of the most soul-snatching knockouts in women's fighting history. Which one hit the hardest? Drop your pick in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the carnage, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a moment of mayhem. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.